Big leap. Electrician,
Yeah.
MasterChef, like to cook a couple of dishes and then go, I'm going to try out for a reality TV show that is all based on cooking.
I don't want to sound like a complete fraud, right?
Yeah.
Because hopefully I'm not. But my mate dared me $500. He was like, "You're pretty good at this. Go on it, $500. There it is." And I was a struggling fourth year apprentice. I was like, "I will take your money." And at that point, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I didn't really think that I'd be a chance on the show either. But I knew the basics, like the absolute basics. And to get on the show, you do need a handful of dishes. And I was probably just lucky that my handful of dishes, I knew that the basics to those. And
what'd you make?
Oh, it was a disaster. For me, it was a disaster.
That was a disaster.
No, how it happened was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
So I got the call to come down, and they said, "Look, we'll send you an email with all the details." And I remember skim reading the email, and it said, "Bring a cold dish." And so I was like, "Okay, amazing. I'll cook at that point, I Googled a ceviche recipe and kind of got my head around put my own little touch on it. And I was like, okay, we'll go down, we'll get some scallops from the fish market. I had I was going to do a little mango salsa with it. Had the whole mangoes, chili, limes, etc. in my esky. Rock up to the auditions and you get put in this group of 10 because they see 10 people at a time. And naturally, everyone starts to ask each other what they cooked. And I'm lucky that it started to my right and it went around the table. And I was the last person that would have been asked. And by about number 6, when they were like, "Oh, I did my red velvet cupcakes," or "I did this blueberry cheesecake," I was like, "You meant to cook your dish. You meant to bring it." Yeah. And so I just wheeled back in my chair and went straight up to the lady marking off the names. I was like, "I got a problem. I've got all of my ingredients whole, ready to go to make this dish." And she was like, "Well, we can't really do much.
Yeah.
We're on a pretty strict schedule here." And she was like, "Give me 5 minutes. I'll go talk to the producers and see what we can do." And anyway, she came back and said, "Look, you would have got 5 minutes to plate your dish. We're going to give you 10 minutes. So whatever you can do in 10 minutes, that's what we'll taste." And the dish turned out okay, but I think it worked out in my favor because there was so much pressure in that situation. I was only given 10 minutes. I was cutting everything on my serving plate. It should have been a disaster, but it kind of worked out. And I think that they kind of saw that I'd really done a MasterChef challenge then and there, and I dealt with it. And so that was
Did they film that?
No, this is all behind the scenes. Yeah. It was down at a TAFE in Sydney. But I feel like the producers were like, he should have failed and he didn't. And yes, his dish probably wasn't amazing, but it was the way that he dealt with the pressure, that was legit. And that's what we need on the show.